I'm going to be ranking the best shooting guard cards right now in NBA 2K23. My team, we have a tier list here ranking from S that goes all the way down to D tier, and we have about 30 to 35 of the best shooting guards in my team, and you guys can let me know in the comment section down below what shooting guards you guys currently running on your squad, and of course, let me know what you guys would change about my tier list. But looking at the first shooting guard is going to be the free dark matter Allen Houston. I would say he probably starts us off in the B tier category. He's a really good all-around shooting guard. He's 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan. But mainly I think he's going to be on your core for offense, having a 96 3 ball, 96 mid-range, really good Hall of Fame shooting badges, and then does have a very good jump shot like the Corey Kispert base and the Klay Thompson upper on very quick timing. I would say is a good release. And then he's also got the T-Mac size up. He's got the tray escape, aim behind the back. He's got really good dunk packages, including the quick drops off one, the front clutches. I mean, his defensive tendencies aren't that bad either. So Allen Houston, I think for now is going to be somewhere in B tier. I would say Shane Battier probably goes in C. He's not a bad shooting guard. Like, he's a good defender. He's got a solid jump shot, but I think he's a little bit better at small forward because he's really just there for defense. Gally Simple Big Z, even though I think his primary position is small forward, and that's where you should play the card because he's 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan. I think he's just a little bit too slow to play shooting guard. I think he's a lot better at small forward, but I still think you got to put him in A tier at least just because of his size. I mean, the fact that you can have a 7'3" shooting guard with a 7'6" wingspan, he just brings so many mismatches to the table that I think he's got to be at least in the A tier category. Invincible T-Mac, still the best shooting guard in the game and probably will be for a while. I don't see really many shooting guards being better than T-Mac now that he has his invincible card. 6'8" at the 2, 7'2" wingspan, perfect stats and badges. He's got probably the best jump shot in the game, the KPJ base, the Oscar Robertson upper on very quick timing. He's also got pretty good dribble sigs. That is like the only thing I can really think of that could be upgraded on T-Mac, is maybe he gets like the Steve Francis size up, and that will be a little bit better than T-Mac, you know, a little bit better than the T-Mac size up. But other than that, this card is pretty much a perfect shooting guard, and I think easily deserves to be in the S tier category. I would say Billy Knight probably still A tier. A really solid shooting guard. Like, he plays good defense, he's got a good jump shot, he just does everything at a super high level. So I think Billy Knight probably still going to be an A tier. Caron Butler, I think this card's actually pretty good. Am I crazy to say Caron Butler in A tier? I really like this card when I did try him out in game. He's 6'7" at the 2, 6'11" wingspan. He's all around a great defender. He's good at going to the basket. This card's jump shot, super knockdown. He's got really good dribble sigs, quick drops off one, front clutches. I think he might be A tier. I do like him a little bit more than Allen Houston. Maybe he's B tier. I'm not exactly sure. I think he's kind of on that, you know, Billy Knight level. I think for now, I'll drop him into B tier just for now, but I do think he might go up to A tier later in the video, because an A tier card for sure is Vince Carter, but he might be a top 5 shooting guard. Not 100% sure if Vince does deserve to be in the S tier category. Really good offensive 2 guard, has a great jump shot, and we know Vince Carter is going to be unstoppable going to the basket. I would say Clyde Drexler, probably D or C tier. Like, he's still a really good rim running shooting guard. It's just his jump shot isn't the best, and I think that really does hold back this Clyde Drexler card, as I cannot spell his name. But yeah, Clyde Drexler, 6'7" at the 2, 6'10" wingspan. I just don't like his jump shot. His sigs are okay. He's going to be great at going to the rim, but I don't know. I think he's going to go in C tier for now, and I guess we'll have to see where he does rank. Richard Jefferson, I would go high C tier. A really solid shooting guard. I think he's got a good jump shot, great at going to the basket. I think he's just a great shooting guard. Like, even the guys in C tier, I'm not saying they're necessarily bad. I just think there's going to be better options. Luol Deng, I think you probably put him in D tier just because, B tier, sorry. I think you put him in B just because of his size at the shooting guard position. He's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan and is going to give you that elite level defense. I would say Eddie Jones probably also going to be in C tier, but Dr. J definitely going to be one of our only D tier shooting guards. His jump shot's just on normal timing. I know he's still got good Hall of Fame badges. He's still got a decent jump shot, but his release is on normal, doesn't have the best dribble sigs, and even his stats and badges now could definitely use an upgrade. So I think Dr. J going to have to be in D tier. Terry Dischinger, easily a top 5 shooting guard in the game. I think you can make the argument for the best shooting guard or number 2 just because of his jump shot being super quick with the KPJ base and the Carmelo Anthony upper on quick timing. He's also got the Steve Francis size up. He's got the Curry escape, aim behind the back. I mean, this card all around is just one of the best offensive cards, and I think one of the best shooting guards just in general. Danny Green, I would say, is probably another C tier shooting guard on that same tier as a Shane Battier, Richard Jefferson, a really good 3-and-D 2 guard. I just don't think he's going to be on that Luol Deng or Cron Butler level. Havlicek, I would say, is also B tier, a really solid all-around shooting guard. I wouldn't say he really has any flaws. He plays good defense, has a decent jump shot. I think he's just all around a very solid shooting guard. I think he's going to be in B tier. Jason Richardson, this card was a lot better than I thought he would be. He's just like an upgraded version of a Clyde Drexler. He's one of those high flyers where he's really good at going to the basket. I like his jump shot. He's got pretty good dribble sigs. Like, I know he's got the, I believe his tray escape, right? I believe he does have the tray. He's got the D-Mitch size up, so I really like his dribble sigs. Jump shot's actually a lot better than I was expecting. He's got the D-Book leaner. We all know he's going to be amazing at going to the rim, and he's also a very solid defender in game. He's super athletic and does have some pretty good size, you know, with a really good player model. So I would say John Havlicek, Jason Richardson, those guys probably going to be somewhere in B tier. Steve Smith, I think once again on that Vince Carter type of level. Do you put a Vince Carter? Do you put a Steve Smith in S? I think maybe one or two of these guys, you know, between Vince and Steve Smith might be in the S tier category. Just for now, I want to keep them in A tier. You know, just because I'm not 100% sure who's going to be in that S tier category. Joe Johnson, he was okay. I think probably B tier. He wasn't really anything too crazy. Like, he's 6'7" at the 2, 6'9" wingspan. He was good. Like, I mean, the Kyle Lowry size at the tray escape, like his sigs are pretty good. His jump shot's okay. He's got a good size at the 2. So I don't think he's anything crazy like a Vince Carter, like a Big Z or a Billy Knight. But I also don't think he's as bad as like a Danny Green or an Eddie Jones. I think he's going to have to be somewhere in B tier. Kawhi Leonard, I think, going to have to be in C. I know he plays good defense and he's still a great on-ball defender. His jump shot's just really slow and doesn't have too much offense to the card. He's just going to be here for on-ball defense, but I still think you got to put him somewhere in C tier. KG, another very similar situation to Gally Simple Big Z, where Kevin Garnett is going to be an elite level defender. He's got great size at the shooting guard position, being 6'11" with a 7'2" wingspan. I just think you should run this card at small forward. I think that's his primary position and where he does play a lot better, but he can play the 2. He's got the speed, he's got the athleticism more than Big Z, so I would take him over Big Z at the shooting guard spot, but I don't think he's going to be a better shooting guard than a Vince Carter or a Steve Smith. Maybe a better card than those guys, but I do think at the shooting guard position, I would take Vince and Steve Smith over him. Kobe Bryant, I mean, another guy that I think is going to have to go in C tier. Like, he's another decent shooting guard. Like, he does everything decently well. I just don't think I don't think there's really anything too crazy about the Dark Matter Kobe. Very interested to see, you know, when he does get his invincible card and maybe they update his jump shot or his dribble sigs and he could be a top tier shooting guard in the game. Mitch Richmond, I would say, is another B tier guy, just a worse version than Allen Houston, but I think he's also still going to be in B tier. Decent jump shot, maybe just a little bit too small for the shooting guard position. Dark Matter T-Mac, I think, also has to go in S tier. The Invincible and the Radiant are both top 5 shooting guards. They're basically the same card, very similar. I think they both got to be in the S tier category. Am I crazy to say Chris Mullin in D tier? I think he's absolutely terrible. I guess I'll put him in C just because I think he's probably a little bit better than Dr. J, but I do not like that Chris Mullin card. I know he's got a decent jump shot, but that's all he can do is shoot wide open. Paul George, I'm really debating B tier. I think PG is actually super underrated at shooting guard. You know what? I'm putting PG in the B tier category. I think he's another Luol Deng, you know, type of card. Like, if I got Luol Deng in B tier, I don't see why Paul George can't be in B tier as well. They both got great size at the shooting guard position. Luol Deng probably does have a better jump shot and maybe slightly better dribble sigs, but Paul George, I mean, he's going to be a Dark Matter 40 Hall of Fame badges with pretty much perfect stats. So, I mean, all around, I would say Paul George going to be somewhere in that lower B tier category. Glenn Rice, I would say, is also B tier. Just a decent shooting guard, still runnable in game, does have the trayscape and some pretty good dribble sigs. Ricky Davis, I would say, is probably still in the A tier category. One of the best offensive 2 guards, has a great jump shot. I just don't think he's going to be S tier anymore. Sean Elliott, also A tier. I don't think he's going to be S tier as well. I think he's just kind of that one step down to the Invincible T-Max of Terry Dishingers, those top level shooting guards in the game. Malik Sealy, I would say, is very similar to like a Paul George, a Luol Deng. He's going to be there for defense, and he's a really good defender. You know, 6'8" at the 2, 7-foot wingspan. Amazing on the defensive end with a 90 block, 94 steal, 96 perimeter, 90 interior defense. His jump shot's okay, and his sigs are pretty decent, but I think he could have a little bit more offense to the card, and he would be a lot better. And then the last 2 shooting guards are going to be Hero Tim Thomas, who has to be in the S tier category, and then also Jared Wallace, who I think is going to be in C C tier, kind of on that like Shane Battier or Richard Jefferson level. So now we do have to move 1 or 2 shooting guards into the S tier category. And I think for me, it's going to be pretty obvious. Steve Smith and Vince Carter, I think both deserve to be in the S tier category. And I'm actually going to move Cron Butler into the A tier spot. I think he's actually super elite and very underrated at the shooting guard position. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my shooting guard tier list? And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.